What's good, everybody, and welcome on to the channel. Today I wanted to talk about the different paths that we can take in spirituality, as well as when we're entering into our divine feminine eras. Okay, so the first topic that I really wanted to discuss is how in spirituality, a lot in new age spirituality, we discuss a lot about manifestation. Manifestation talk typically gets into mindset talk, vibration talk, but whenever we're talking about vibration, it's always very much the vibration is coming from your thoughts, so watch what you're thinking, watch what you're consuming as far as TV and social media, music and things of that nature go. And we're always like in this mental plane when it comes to opening up spiritually. It's about opening the third eye so that you can be able to see. It's about manifesting. It's about when you have self-concept. It's about affirming. It's about the thoughts. It's about reading. It's about knowledge. And I've been doing this for quite some time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been doing this for quite some time now. And we just constantly keep on, even as we're going into this divine feminine era, phase, age thing, we're still constantly neglecting downgrading the feminine aspects of ourselves, because it does not, I feel like, because it doesn't communicate to us in a way that like our mind does. Our mind clearly talks. It will clearly give you an image or something of that nature. But when we're speaking of divine feminine, when we're speaking of the mother of feminine energy, we're talking about the body, okay? We're talking about the emotional state and the emotional space. So you can do affirmations, you can do visualizations, you can do self-concepts all day. But if you're not also adding in that piece that pays attention to the body, meaning how does the and I'm also not talking about the body and like go vegan, you know what I mean, the body in terms of diet, because that's still coming from a mental, knowledge based, masculine perspective. It's a masculine frame onto the body, onto the feminine, which is the same. If we're going to be talking about the feminine, then we're talking about the body and the body's like rawest form. How is the body feeling? What emotions are stored in the body? How is the body moving through how is the energy moving through the body, and experiencing that? So it's not much of a talk. It's not much of a conversation. It's not much of a visualization. It's not much, you can channel, but it's not much of a channel. It is, how is the energy, the vibration, the emotion moving through the vessel of the body, and the wisdom that you gain through that experience. Through that experience, you have to experience that, okay? Which means that you sit down quietly and you don't think about it, you don't analyze it, you don't evaluate it, you simply feel it. You simply feel it. And then you feel it all the way through. You feel it all the way through. You know how many people are on platforms teaching you to go down into your body, reach down to your 3-year-old, and how is the 3-year-old feeling, and why are you feeling like this, and what happened to make you feel like this, and like telling this whole story. That is all mental plane. That's all masculine. It's all masculine. It's not anything divine feminine, because when you're getting into the feminine, you're stepping out of logic. You're stepping out of what makes sense. You know what I mean? You're stepping out of this verbal communication that we have. And it's a whole different frequency, plane, area of life. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a whole nother dimension. That's the word I'm looking for. It's a whole different dimension. Just through sitting there and putting your awareness on a feeling without analyzing that feeling, without making up a story about that feeling, without taking that feeling and attaching it to different moments in your life. No, you're not doing any of that. You're not doing anything. You are simply being. You are simply allowing. You are simply feeling, regardless of how uncomfortable it feels, regardless of how bad it feels, regardless of how silly it may feel. You are simply feeling to feel, not to analyze, not to get a story, not to heal. You're feeling to feel. And it's like, the more that you do it, the more that you bring the power back into your emotional states, the more you bring it back into your body, and then the more you bring it back into the feminine. Because next part of the conversation, your feelings are created to move. You were never supposed to be holding on to them anyways. But they happened in moments in your life. You felt uncomfortable, you felt scared, you felt this, you felt that, and you kind of froze around that feeling. You allowed your mind to come in, which we do as kids. Nobody's like blaming anybody or whatever. It's just what we do as humans, especially if we don't know any better. But like, you allow your mind to come in, you feel a story, you make up a story about yourself. Let's give an example. Let's say that you are 10 years old, right? And you put on your favorite outfit. This is like low key something that happened to me. That's why it's coming up. But you put on your favorite outfit, like one you have been wanting, you finally get it, you put it on, you feel like you step in, baby. Like literally when you walked out the house, nobody could tell you nothing. And so you go and you hang out with some people and you're like hanging out with your friends. You're like on a high because you feel so good in your favorite outfit. And then somebody says to you, that outfit does not look good on you. You know, some little asshole is like, that outfit doesn't look good on you. And so how in that moment, however you feel, like you crush a little bit. I know I crushed. I don't know about you, but I crushed a little bit because you like at the where I was so high. Like I was just like, I'm the best. And then it was just like somebody just came and smacked me up off my little pedestal. And I was like, whoa, like, and especially when you don't do anything to someone and they just literally step out of left field and be like, you don't look good in that outfit, by the way. It's like, what the fuck did I do to you? But it crushes you in that moment. You have a whole slurry of different emotions that you feel in that moment. And you have to yourself in that moment, right? So you can't, depending, all people are different, but you don't, wail out and cry. You don't smack the living daylights out of whoever said it for talking to you crazy, but like you freeze. This is a freeze response. I'm actively recognizing this. If you have that freeze response, then any of the responses, honestly, but if you freeze around it, you hold that emotion, and then maybe you come back with a comeback, like, well, didn't nobody ask you what you thought, and your pants is high water anyways, or you come up with your own little response, but you are crushed on the inside, but you show strength on the outside, or whatever you show on the outside, but you hold that like crushing moment in you forever until you finally allow yourself to feel that, allow that moment to fully experience itself. Because in the moment, you couldn't fully experience it. You had to shut it down either through freezing, flighting, through fighting, through whatever you had to do, whatever coping mechanism that you use, you had to shut that feeling down from completely making its way up and out of your body. So then it sticks there. Then you create a story about it. That time I wore my favorite outfit. Then you start being like, oh, she probably said that because I have a gut. It's because I'm too fat. I can't wear certain clothes because I'm fat. And then you just start creating a whole bunch of foolishness. On like the back of this frozen emotion that all you have to do is feel it. But every time you feel it, it brings you back to that uncomfortable moment, and it makes you think like, damn, I'm too overweight to wear these type of clothes, or damn, I don't have a good fashion sense, or oh, I'm just not gonna wear anything too flashy because I'm just not that type of person. You know what I'm saying? It basically stifles you a little bit because you remember that feeling. That feeling is frozen inside of your body because you didn't allow it to fully process itself out of you. It was something that the person probably had frozen in them that they spewed onto you. And because we don't know any better, you then held it, and then you hold it, and then it creates all of these different life experiences. These are the vibrations in your body. These unprocessed emotions are the vibrations in your body that are creating your reality. That are creating your reality. And the only thing that's really required is for you to sit down and feel them through. Feel them until the sting is gone. And that's how you change your vibration. There's thousands of videos of people talking about how to change your vibration, how to raise your vibration on the internet. I watched so many videos, but it's just through my own life experience, through my own spiritual practice, through my own trusting myself through this whole spiritual thing, following all these foolish techniques. I'm like, what? You're just gonna sit there and let it move? 20 minutes? 30 minutes? Maybe I have to do it, 3 or 4 times, and then it's just gone. And then it's just gone. That is the feminine, because the feminine is all about the art of being. It's just about being. I don't have to hold myself no type of way. I don't have to repeat 1,000,000 affirmations every single day. I don't have to hold up, become this other person. That should only be a temporary thing. That should be a segue into a new way of being. You always have practices. You always have rituals. You're always going to have affirmations to say, but it should never be like if at some point those rituals and affirmations, the whole point of them is to get them encoded into your body. But if you have a whole bunch of junk and old emotions in your body, how do the new ones, where do they take root at? Where do they take root at? So you'll be doing things, you'll be saying affirmations, you'll be doing all of this stuff, and you will see some change in your life. But the older vibrations, emotions that this vessel is their home, they have seniority. They have tenure here. And you're afraid of them. And you're scared of them. They're just gonna come and knock down any sandcastle that you created, because this is their house. This is their house, and that's a little too comfortable. Over here, we're scared. And this new pattern that you're trying to implement into the being doesn't match the frequency that it already is. So while everybody is talking about manifestation, affirmation, visualization, I'm not saying that it doesn't work. It does work. It's a very necessary component. You have to have it. But what you also have to have on the feminine side is the processing of what's already in the body. And then that is how you truly build a relationship with the feminine. That is how you truly build a relationship with your body. That is how you truly build a relationship with yourself. That is where your confidence comes from. That's where your self-esteem comes from. That's where your strength comes from, because you are literally settled into your body, because you have sat with all things that make you feel like trash. You've looked at them all. None of them were the actual monsters that you decided that they were when you didn't have this awareness. None of them are the monsters that you thought they were. Some of them carry great gifts. Some of them carry great gifts that you were never able to actualize through them affirmations and through you're trying to affirm and visualize and manifest things to make you stop feeling how you feel inside, when you cannot escape it, baby. You gotta feel it. Or else you're just gonna create like a bigger, you're just widening the loop. You're just widening the loop, but you're gonna have to come back around to it. So that, if I could give myself any advice when I first started my spiritual journey, that I wasn't even aware that I was starting back in like 2017, 2018, what I would tell myself first, before we got into affirmation, before we got into visualization, before we got into ritual, before we got into plant medicine, before we got into hypnosis was dope. I would keep my hypnosis journeys. That's one of my favorites. But before we got into all the books on my book, I literally want to just give away all the books on my bookshelf. I want to throw them away. I want to get rid of them all. Because it's a symbol of a time when I was seeking, but I was seeking what was inside of me. And I just feel like maybe the path that I was taking, it was not like just saying that. The path is within you. It's within you. It's through you feeling the bullshit that you don't want to feel. That's it. That's where, to me, it truly, truly, truly begins. Because then you really start to repattern the body, and then you start to gain a relationship with it. Where it's so funny, like I sit with my emotions, because the job that I have is like I'm working with people all day long, so I take on a lot of stuff. So at the end of the day, I decided, I'm just gonna sit for a minute before I go to bed and just process, feel everything that I felt today, so that I'm not holding on to anything. Like feel each day all the way through at the end of the day, so that I don't start the day still vibrating on yesterday's BS, And I notice now, like when I'm done, when I go into it and when I come out of it, because I literally just sit there and I just have to keep reminding myself, because your mind is automatically going to start trying to make up a story. It's going to automatically start trying to like going off about some past situation, tying it to some other stuff. Like it's going to try and create a whole scenario for you. So I just have to keep reminding myself, no analyzing, no storytelling, no analyzing, no storytelling. We're just feeling. No analyzing, no storytelling. We're just feeling, I have to say that over and over. Like that's my mantra while I'm sitting there doing it. You're just feeling. But there's a relationship that you gain with your body. It's like when I'm done, I can feel my body say thank you. I can feel my body say thank you. And then when I wake up in the morning, I'm so light. I'm so airy. I'm so excited for the day. I'm so ready for the day. Just through sitting with the emotions and processing them does light years of work that me sitting there trying to visualize and affirm it, away when all I have to do is look at it. That's what I'm really trying to say. In our spiritual community right now, a lot of the practice is based upon visualize, affirmation, meditation, things like that, but it's so mind-based. The mental plane is the masculine plane. The emotional plane is the feminine plane. So then for all of the divine feminines who are talking about mindset, it's like, what the fuck is going on? Does anybody even know what they're talking about? She's not a mindset. She's not a mindset. She's the stuff all around that creates the space for a mindset to even be a thing. Okay? But don't even get me all the way into that one now. But that's really what I wanted to say. Mindset work, visualization work, wonderful work, masculine work. Just feeling it through. That's the work of like true feminine work. Because it puts you into the space with your body where you begin to recognize another layer of yourself, another dimension of yourself outside of the thinking, mental, knowledge-based plane, outside of the brain. You become aware of the whole entire rest of yourself. The whole rest of yourself you become aware of. So that's my spiel for today. I appreciate whoever rocked with me to the end of this video. It's been my pleasure speaking with you all. If you liked the video, please go ahead and put a thumbs up. If you didn't, thumbs it down. And also comment if you have any questions, if you have any remarks, if you have any way that you feel about it, drop it in the comment. I'd love to read about it. Thank you for your time today.